Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? How are you all today? So I am super excited. So I'm going to share with y'all. I've talked about on this channel and on Patreon and in the grocery store and all kind of places about me wanting to create these t-shirts because I came up with some cybersecurity sayings and phrases and stuff that because I couldn't find like cyber defense type t-shirts out there. It was weird. Like there's a whole bunch of Linux stuff and you know pen testing and hacking and all that kind of stuff, right? And there's very little defense type stuff out there. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this stuff myself. Okay. And she did. She made it herself. So I am going to, let me just download this one last. I've been playing with StreamYard, trying to figure out how to do this thing. And I think I got it. I think if this one works, then I'm doing well. So let's see what this looks like. Because I put these overlays on there and they all covering up my face and everything, right? There we go. That's how it works. That's how it works. So I just needed to make this right here white at the bottom so y'all can see that. All right, so we're good now. So now I know how to do that. So stuff isn't all up, all up in here when I'm trying to talk to y'all, right? So these are some of the apparel that's on my Teespring store. And I'm actually going to take you to the store so y'all can look at it, okay? Cyber Defenders, Work, Life, Home, Secure. Cyber Defense is self-defense, level up, and think like a defender. Did you hear that? Did I gotta say it again? Level up and think like a defender. Yeah. So I found this amazing quote, that supports that 100%. What is this at the bottom? Oh, look, where'd that come from? Oh, you know what? That was from the other overlay. What is the quote? Oh, a football coach, right? He said, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. I love it. That's what I'm using from now on, right? It's even on the site, okay, on the website where I have this this shirt. So let me come over here. Let me get this off the screen first. Okay, so all right, so that works. I want to check that out. Now I did another overlay. That thing is big as hell. I'm gonna have to make this a little bit smaller. Y'all see, I'm getting my my StreamYard on, so I can stop paying for this thing and not knowing how to use it. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Okay. What else we got over here? Okay, that's something else I did. All right, so let's go look at the website before I start talking about FEDRAMP and POA&Ms and all that. Okay, let's see here. I am going to. Oh, here we go. All right, so let me share the screen. There it is. Now I had to put both on here because my company is called Ypifany. Person-centered cyber is just the name of my YouTube channel. Okay, but because I've changed careers, Ypifany was about learning and development, and it's still about learning and development, but now it's focused more towards cybersecurity. So I just put both logos because people who over here know me as person-centered cyber, but wouldn't possibly know me as Ypifany. But anyway, they're both here. Okay, so you know what's up. So this is the site. Now Teespring is really easy to use. And if you want to do this, like just do it, go ahead and do this kind of stuff. So these are, let me make it bigger so y'all can see the the logos and stuff, or what it actually says. No, it's not too much of an improvement. Can I make this bigger? No. Okay. Cyber defense is self-defense, okay? And in the back here, I have, on some of them, well, most of them, I have my logo, okay? On most of them. This one, defense is hard, but we do it anyway. Now, white means the lettering, because I have one with black lettering too, okay, that I could put on different color shirts. Now, all of these have apparel, but I just wanted to show, you know, the different kinds of things that come with it. Powered by purpose, and that's an on, you know, when you turn the computer on, that's what that little button is down there. Cyber Defenders powered by purpose, okay? This one right here, always ready, and that's the command line. It's telling you, you know, let's go. Let's go. What do you want to do? Always ready. Down here, Cyber Defenders, work, home, life, secure. This one is person-centered cyber from my YouTube channel. And then I went ahead and I put some for different professions. So up here is the logo for person-centered cyber. Let me see if I can click on it so y'all can see it better. There we go. Protecting your freedom to be secure. Okay, so that's above all of the different professions that I have here. Okay. Okay, so let me go back. And so I have like the cybersecurity engineer, cybersecurity analyst. I have the cybersecurity researcher right here, and you know, and then there are hoodies. Cybersecurity student. Okay, cyber student. And when you, I don't know, will they show it here? So when you click on these, it has a description. So for each of these, I have a description of who this is for. For the student, it says, for those who are committed to doing the hard yet rewarding work that is required to secure and shield the ability of all human individuals and groups to live well. That's what cybersecurity students are doing. And it's on the front and the back. Okay? Front and back. Now, this one right here, I'm gonna have to move this up to the top, okay? Level up and think like a defender, okay? Because what's the idea now? Now the idea is, hey, if you wanna be better than just a old run-of-the-mill cybersecurity, you're doing STIGs all day and, you know, NIST security controls or whatever, you need to go do some pen testing and hacking and hack the box and hack the house and the cars and the doors and all that, right? I say no, okay? If you want to level up, okay, and then we need to start thinking like a defender. All right, so that's what we're doing right here. And ain't nobody saying this. Nobody. Okay, at least not right now. But so this is what I have here. Okay. And so that's all for now, because you know I have other ideas, other sayings and stuff, but I just want to see how this does, because I ain't gonna, you know. And then we have a mug, and then here, this is a canvas print for that one. All right. Okay, so let's see. Okay, that's good. Let me get this off of here. Stop sharing. There we go. So you guys feel free to go, you know, look at the store, peruse, look around, look at the different colors and stuff like that. Cybersecurity Awareness Month is coming up in October. What are we in? July? Yeah, so just get them now, okay, for your birthdays and all that stuff, right? So I'm happy to have accomplished that, because I've been talking about that for a minute, you know, and I'm like, Cheryl, girl, get your weight up, okay? All this shit you talking about, can you do something, please? So yes, I did. I went in and did that. And okay, look, that ain't all now. I've been busy. I have been a busy bee. So I wanted to talk about the FEDRAMP because I do, you know, I have my full-time job, but I also do a little stuff on the side. And I'm super, super, super excited that I am going to, be fully participating in another side gig where, I'm on a team that's going to try and help a organization get FEDRAMP approved. So I'm excited about that. I do a lot of that, stuff right now, but on the after the ATO side, like once they've accomplished it and all that, it's, all of the, all the monitoring and all that stuff that needs to be done, which is where the POA&M process comes in. Now, when I got my first cybersecurity job, I was with NAFC. Oh, girl, I need some lotion on my hands. I was with NAFC, and I was in a meeting, and the lady was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need you to POA&M that for me." I'm like, "Girl, POA&M?" I'm like, what? First of all, I know what she said. I was like, "I'm sorry, what was that? You need me to what?" She said, "I need you to POA&M." I was like, "Okay, can you please explain to me what a POA&M is?" Like, I have no idea what that is. Hey, Professor Black Ops, how you doing? I didn't know what a POA&M was. All right. First of all, I didn't know it was an acronym for anything. I didn't know anything. All right. And she sent me one. She was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just send you one." And I'm like, "All right, this looks like a them things you do in Microsoft project, like a project plan or something, like that." That's the one. The one she gave me was actually done in Microsoft Project. Okay. So, that was my first introduction to what a POA&M was. I was like, okay, I just do a project plan, like, what milestones and all that, right? That's not a big deal. So now where I am now, I'm working more closely. Now that was with the policy office. Where I am now, I work with everybody, and especially the SOC. Okay, so now, because the SOC, they're getting, orders from Cybercom and all that. They're doing, scans of everything, the workstations and the servers and all that stuff. New systems are coming in. The ones that are already there, stuff is happening with that. And, the POA&M process is enormous, like enormous. Like every time you can't throw a rock without hitting a POA&M, okay? And so I'm working to help get that together, because those things are very, very important, especially the ones that come down from, if you're using, those of you who work for DoD, I'm talking about, if you're using that enclave, they got a tight rein on that thing, okay? so they got to make sure that things stay, everything is as secure as it can be. And when those orders come down, they're like, hey, and if you don't do it in a certain amount of time, now with this current position, like I'm just learning all this stuff, right? If you don't do it in a certain amount of time, that stuff gets reported, so you got to be on your game. You got to be on your stuff, with these POA&Ms, you can't just let them languish and, and all that. Folks asking questions, and, they need to know what's going on, like at all times, what is going on. So just helping out with that whole process. And the process can get, just like any process can, especially when you have turnover, it can get really 100 on a project. Professor Black Ops, oh my goodness. Oh, I need to reach out to you too, Professor Black Ops. I was going to send you a message over LinkedIn about the FEDRAMP stuff, because I told the contractor, I was like, I'm really working on the monitoring side, although I know, and I've seen, and I've done like gap analysis and stuff like that. Like I have done that, but but I might need, a little bit of coaching or something if you're available with it. And I'm just assuming you've done FEDRAMP. Have you? I'm assuming you have. I could have sworn I know you've been talking about it, but yeah. So I was just going to reach out to you for that. But yeah, but it's all very interesting. And what I'm having to do is to really go into, man, I've done so much research. It's nuts. It's nuts. You know, the kind of stuff I've been looking at just for this POA&M process because it's so important. So I'm excited about that. Now, I've also been, let me go ahead and sign in here so I can show you this other thing that I've been talking about forever and a year, okay? I was going to FEDRAMP in the commercial. Oh, okay, all right. Oh, and I also got access to, are you on a Cloud Guru, Professor Black Ops? I got access to that. I need to go in there because I really do want to know and learn more about the cloud. And something else that I did, right, is I was like, well, what's the difference between the cloud and a data center? Like what's up with that? Because you hear one and then you hear the other, are they synonymous and all that stuff? So what I found is that at least the way I understood it is that, you know, it's like the cloud is in the data center, like they're one and the same, basically, you know. A data center is or clouds are in the data center, something like that. But let me see, let me do this, because y'all know I can't talk and type at the same time. Whew. So I'm going to show you two sites, okay? That I have been diligently working on. Which one is this? Here. I've been talking about these courses forever and ever. When you're doing such a long course, like you have to step away from it for a little while, you know, because that stuff gets, ooh. Okay, here we go. So this one is, let's do this one. Dang it. Come on now. Okay, that's right. All right, there's that one. Now let me sign into this one. So just get there. All right, here we go. So let's look at this first one. Now, this is what I've been working on. Let me see. Okay. So I've mentioned the nonprofit that I work with. This is what I've been doing, you know, for all these hours, like up till 1, 2 in the morning. I mean, just doing shit, okay? Now, these down here, let me make it bigger so y'all can see it better. That really doesn't help a lot, okay? Anyway, so the ones down here, so what's going on is the nonprofit has obtained CompTIA material, okay, for middle school and other students to I mean, like all the stuff, like they have the whole suite, like, you know, the self-paced thing with all the games and all that stuff that CompTIA offers. They got the instructor material, all that, okay, for these individuals, you know, to have and to study, you know, so they can gain their certifications. So what I've done is, because it's middle school primarily, and that content, a lot of that content is not easy to understand, okay? And it assumes that you know something already, you know, when you go into this. So we're starting with ITF, okay? Now let me just go here. Can I open this in a different thing? Yeah, I can do that. All right, so this is what I'm done with ITF. So what I did was, I went through and let me show you what's up. I'm just going to run through this, okay? So this is the logic model for the course, okay? All right, the inputs activity, y'all know what a logic model is, right? It's just it's predicting, you know, some of the outcomes that should happen, you know, when people do this. So what this is these are activities and projects to help make this CompTIA content reachable to middle school students. And not just middle school students, whole adults, okay? Because some of us, when we're studying this stuff, we're really just memorizing it so we can pass. You know, we're not really getting it. You know, we're not really understanding it clearly, okay? So this is for, you know, adults as well, all right? So I start with it. Now, this stuff is for the instructor, okay? Just so that, you know, I give the instructor some directions and all that, okay? All right, and this is about the CompTIA material. This is about like the projects, what they're gonna do. Okay, and some of the stuff that we use. So here, the stuff that we're using here is they're going to need the personal computer, security tools, mind maps, coding games, drawing tools. Like these are the things that I've incorporated in here for the activities. Now, let me tell you for this, when students take breaks, okay, what I say up here is you don't have to take a break from learning when you take a break. If you want to continue, this is what I encourage them to do. Call somebody. Tell them what you're learning, okay? When you have time, go ahead and go to Twitter, wherever you are on social media, and say, hey, you know, this is what I just, you know, learned about this. And, you know, if you have a picture or something, that's fine. Create a short video about what you're learning and experiencing and put it on your Discord channel or YouTube or wherever you are, okay? Text your friend or relative and ask, hey, I just heard this in class. What do you think about that? You know, chat with classmates, you know, about stuff that you found interesting or that you didn't get or you found was super boring or, you know, or whatever, and just reflect. Now, these reflection questions are very important because they're about them, the learner. It's not about how were the materials, was the instructor engaging, no. This is about them, okay? Because learning is your responsibility, all right? And I make that super duper clear. And look at this last one. Are you satisfied with the amount of effort you are putting into your learning? Oh, I'm glad I saw that. I got to change that. Amount of effort you're putting into your learning, okay? That's very important, you know? Okay, so let's see here, what's next? So at the beginning of every one, I have here like a little cartoon, okay, and class expectations. So in class, this is what they're expected to do. And outside, because they already have the CompTIA material, all right, I'm encouraging them, hey, go ahead and study. Make sure you research topics you don't understand and keep preparing for your exam. That's going to be coming up soon, all right? Okay. Also in here, I call diversity and cybersecurity. So what I want to do is every single lesson we get to, I want them to see the different kinds of people that are in cyber, okay? The various hues, that there are men and there are women, there are people who are older, some are younger, you know, some are career changers, some have been in IT for years and years and years, you know, it's very, very diverse, all right? This is super important too. In every single one, I have here the ethics and cybersecurity. So what I do here is I really want them to see and understand about the impact that hacking has on people. Okay, because it's kind of like we're a little disconnected from it. You know, those of us in the profession. But this stuff actually impacts people. You know, I mean, in a very serious way. All right. So I wanted them to read these stories, you know, about people who had been hacked. All right. And you know, and to possibly develop some empathy, because maybe they have been too. or they've experienced something where somebody violated their space. Okay, and every human being knows what that feels like. Okay, all right. And then we have questions down here in an interview sheet, because what I wanted them to do was to find somebody, either in their family or a friend or somebody on LinkedIn, something, and interview that person and ask them these questions or questions like these to hear themselves from another person, what it feels like, how did that impact your life, and not just your life, but the life of your family, other people. All right. Okay, so there's that. That's in every single one. Now here, of course, we go over the computer ethics. Okay, and I have here scenarios for them. Okay, again, remember, these are middle school students. Okay, so for example, number 5, your best friend is hacking Roblox accounts to hold them for ransom to obtain money and products from his victims. You found out that he's hacking accounts. He offers to give you some of the money and products. What would you do? Okay. Now, and that's all it is, right? Ethics is what would you do? And right now, what I want them to see is, if you don't know what to do, that's what these ethical principles are for. You have a scenario, you're not sure, okay? Like, you know what you might want to do, but if you're going to call yourself a cybersecurity professional, you can't always do what you may want to do or what may be easiest to do, okay? Because you're repping a profession here. So what you can do is go to these ethics and say, okay, according to the ethics that I abide by, given my profession, okay, what decision would I make? All right, and these are the ethics, in Wikipedia. Now, the CIS, Center for Internet Security, also has an amazing page, where it talks about cyber ethics. Okay, but that's in a different course. So for each of these courses, they're going to get this kind of stuff. Okay. So, and then we have a disclaimer. So the name of the program is Cyber's Future, which I came up with. Okay, and they're going to have a disclaimer that they're going to have to sign. Them and their parents, okay, are going to have to sign this disclaimer, okay, about and a pledge of ethical behavior. All right. Okay, so once we get through that, after each thing, I created a form in Google Forms for them to go ahead and take a survey. Again, another lesson, class expectations, just a cute little meme to go along with the in class and what they're going to do out of class. Okay, again, diversity and cybersecurity. I wanted to, make sure that they see this. And then I have like a little tweet there, because these people, they can follow these people either on Twitter or LinkedIn, as we introduce these people to them, because they're in middle school, but they can still begin to build up their network, okay? And begin to contribute to conversations and begin to post things that they find interesting that's happening, in cybersecurity. So, they can start that right now. Cybersecurity jobs, all right? Now, this is the ITF, remember, this is the ITF stuff. Now, what I said was, this is to supplement, these are activities and projects that go along with what CompTIA, so everything I've gone over so far, CompTIA does not talk about, okay? That it's got nothing to do with that, right? So for these folks, I have here, this was a job when I found it. There is a cybersecurity analyst job open. At least it was when I did this 2 weeks ago, okay, in the NBA, just to show them cyber is everywhere. You will just have to work for DHS or CISA or whatever, okay? In the NFL, if you want to work for the NFL, go look at cyber jobs in the NFL, or them hockey people, wherever you have information systems. If you want a daycare center, wherever you have that, you're going to have a need for cyber professionals. All right. So I just wanted to make that very clear by showing this. And of course, what is it? NICSS? What is that again? They have this, oh my God, these things are amazing. I love them. They're so good. So they can look at other kinds of cyber profiles, I mean, very, very, very amazing, wonderful stuff that DHS has already created for this. All right. Now, this was very important. Now, these videos you can get, if you go to Pixabay, you can get free videos, free, I mean, like good, amazing quality, okay, videos and audio and pictures, you ain't got to worry about copyright, none of that stuff. Go ahead, right over there to Pixabay to get this, to get that for all this, okay? So here I'm talking about analog and digital. Analog and digital. Because this is very much foundational. At least I found it's really, really foundational understanding why, like the why behind why we're doing this. Okay, we're very simply analog. Like we as human beings, like the whole world is analog. All right, the whole world, everything is analog, meaning simply there is no interruption. Like everything is like just one thing. Okay, and I mean, I explain it a lot better in here, but what we're trying to do is get that same kind of thing, but digitally. Okay, digital can't be one thing. All right, it's two, it's ones and zeros. All right, so this and this, are like the so here you got amplitude, down here you got voltage. Okay, so we go over that, and what I want them to do is I want them to hear the difference between analog and digital. This video is really nice, and the music is awesome. I mean, the music is bumping. It's really, I played this like 4 times just for the beat, okay? But in this video, they can hear the difference between what a smooth, no interruption analog signal sounds like versus a digital. Now, a digital, if it's really, really good, it can fool you, But here, it's just enough that you can hear. You can hear the natural smoothness of the analog versus the digital, even though the digital does sound very good, okay, for this one. So because I want them to use as many senses as possible. We're not just going to be in here reading shit and hands on. Or no, we want ears on, we want tongues on, we want feelings on, all that. We want all that on, okay? All of it. And here, again, binary, not just ones and zeros, okay? I want them to see, okay, this is what binary looks like. This is a binary image, all right? And then I have them, I think the next one is where they actually go to this thing. Okay, now here, they can actually create their own binary image, and they can see on the left how the binary and the it's just binary and hex that I really want them to pay attention to here. How those things change as as they're creating their image. All right. Now again, this is ITF, so we're not getting like super duper into detail or whatever, with this kind of thing. But but I do want them to have this like this foundational fundamental type of thing, okay, to prepare them for what's going to be next. Now the vocabulary. We know the acronyms and vocabulary in cyber are redonkulous. Okay, it's like you think you were studying to be a doctor or something. All this language that nobody understands but you and the other doctor. So what I want them to do here, because these things are simple. Now I tried this with my 11 and 12-year-old. A lot of these exercises in here with my 11 and 12-year-old. You see what this is. It's a keyboard. But what I want them to do, what my 11 and 12-year-old did, I said, I want you to tell me what this is in a way that if I had never used it before, that I know what you're talking about and what to do with it, okay? That is not easy, all right? And I do this because one of the things I prescribe to, y'all know I love Richard Feynman, love him, okay? And he has that Feynman technique where he says, listen, if you cannot explain something simply, that means you don't understand it, okay? Yes, I know what a mouse is, but can I tell somebody else what a mouse is so that they would know? Do you know what I mean? I mean, so and because of what we do as cyber professionals, cyber analysts, SOC analysts, whatever, Everybody got to report something. You got to tell somebody else what you're doing, okay? And they have to understand you. All right, so that's really a place where we need to practice, like we really do. And don't say Google it. No, 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 no. We're not doing that, okay? You need to understand what a mouse is in a way to explain it simply to somebody else, okay? So that's what it might look easy, but it's not. I'm telling you, it's not easy at all, okay? Not at all. But you know, it's practice, you know, and we learn. So here, same thing, okay? Do that again. Oh Lord, let me go back. Where was it? IT concepts. Okay, I think I skipped that one. So that was the one about the acronyms. No, I got to go back to that. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't want to mess this thing up because I'm gonna be real upset. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Wait a minute. Let me get back over there. There we go. All right. So this is the acronym. So this is the exercise where first, before we get to all them damn acronyms, I go over familiar ones first, right? So we have them say, okay, what do these mean? You know, who knows what these acronyms mean? And of course, you know, I've done this in another class. Most of them know what these mean, okay? And then it's like, why? Why do you know what, right off the bat, why do you know what these mean? Okay, why wasn't it difficult, or, you know, you had to go inside your memory and search and, you know, like you digging for treasure or something to try to find what this acronym means, okay? So we talk about why. And the same reason why they know what these mean is the exact same reasons why they're going to know eventually what these mean, okay? The same things they did to understand LOL, okay? And not have to go look it up or Google it or whatever, okay? They know exactly what that means. They know when to use it, you know, all that, okay? The same way they do that is how they're going to learn these right here. And this is what we talk about in this one. And what I tell them to do is to go to, like, whatever the exam is. For this one, it's the ITF, but it doesn't matter. Whatever the exam is, where you have all these acronyms, put them into a word cloud. We use Word It Out here because what Word It Out does is the word that appears the most is the biggest, okay? So that's telling me, now this is the one for Security Plus, because I want them to do ITF on their own. So what this is telling me for Security Plus is, hey, Cheryl, if you have an acronym and you just don't know what, like you can't remember, but there's a P in it, chances are that P means protocol, okay? Now, it may be something else, but there's a high likelihood, because protocol appears so much in Security Plus acronyms, there's a high likelihood that it's protocol. So then I would use the context clues and say, was it protocol, or another P in here is provider? You know, could it be provider? You know what I'm saying? So the Word It Out, or any word cloud that you want to use is just a good way to assist, you know, in helping to learn and understand and know where they're used, you know, of these various acronyms. Okay. All right, so there's a project. Find the hardware connection and peripherals on your own computer. So I have several of these where I have them, you know, whatever they're working on, whether it's a Mac, a Windows, whatever, okay? They're gonna have, now all these instructions are for Windows. Most of them are for Windows, but they're gonna have to go and find, yeah, we're talking about this stuff, you see pictures, but I need you to find it on your own stuff, okay? And again, so that's the end of that workshop, and we have another evaluation here. Again, class expectations. All right, a little meme there. Now, this is the same language as in the other one. Now, again, talking to middle school students, but also, you know, even older people who may be taking this, who have, you know, middle school or high school students or whatever. The cybersecurity scholarships out there, it's sick I mean, there are so many opportunities out there for cybersecurity. Oh, and Professor Black Ops. I'm sure you've heard this, but I just found out like 2 days ago that DoD has created its own accepted service just for cybersecurity people. Okay, it's called the CES, Cyber Accepted Service, right? So so DoD, like when they're hiring, and right now I think it's just DoD, but I'm sure everybody follow everything DoD does. So it's probably the rest of the government if it isn't already. But they don't even have to put their jobs on USA Jobs now. Federal, DoD, if they want to hire somebody, and they don't have to consider veterans preference below 30%. I'm like, oh my goodness, like that's huge. Now they still get all the same benefits and all that stuff that they had before, but they're like, they're transitioning and all that. I believe like Cybercom had to do it first, and then JFHQ Doden, and now like Fourth Estate and everybody else got to implement that stuff. But man, I was surprised. I was like, wow, like this is awesome. They're really trying to get people, and all of these monetary awards and stuff, like they're still not as high as private sector now. But the government is doing some things, to get these talented cyber people in there. So here's a whole bunch of different scholarships and more. Like this ain't nothing compared to all the stuff that they have out there. Okay. So this is just to get them thinking about that. Again, another diversity in cybersecurity. This one, sharks are attacking the internet. I want to talk about what the internet is and how the majority of the internet, which is not the World Wide Web. The internet is not the World Wide Web. Okay, I wanted to make that really clear. The internet came before www. All right, so they're going to watch a video, and we're going to do all these things. And I just love this title, how the sharks are attacking the internet. I just love it. It's memorable, definitely. Okay. And here, so I have, the whole timeline of that stuff. So a little fun activity for them to, move around, find out what happened first and all that. Okay. And of course, I have the answers in here, instructing them to complete the assignment before you download the answer. Okay. Here, Creately is a free website where they can actually, it's like the Cisco packet tracer. Not as sophisticated, but they got enough stuff for an ITF person to go in there and create their home network. Like what kind of stuff you got in there? Like where do you got a router? Do you have a smart TV? You got a smart air conditioner? What's your network looking like in your house? Okay, and Creately allows you to have 3. Is it 3? No, 5. You can make 5 free creations with Creately. So, I didn't want, because this is a nonprofit that I'm doing this for. So wherever they don't have to spend money, that is huge. I didn't hear that. Yeah. You're going back to DOD? They need you. They need you, Professor Black Ops, I'm telling you. They need you like yesterday. Okay. Okay, now here we go. The first website. All right, this is actually a picture of the first website. All right, Tim Berners-Lee, the guy at CERN. Now CERN do some strange stuff. CERN are out there looking for aliens and stuff. Okay, we're not gonna go into all that here, but CERN is real interesting. I'm gonna have to bring CERN up in another Network Plus or something. Find some kind of way to incorporate aliens into Network Plus. Okay. So there's that, and a little analogy about the websites and the internet. Okay, and then more about, now I love, because Thinkific has this thing, I forget what it, multimedia, where if the website will allow it, I forgot what it has to have, but you can put the link in and it'll take the person like right there to the website, and they can just do activities on like whatever's on the website, they can do it as part of the course. Like they don't have to leave. You see, I'm still in Thinkific. I love that. I think that's awesome. All right. So they can read more about, the history of the World Wide Web and all that. Another end of workshop thing here. What is a protocol? I felt like for ITF, what I know is we say a lot of things, just assuming people know. And people kind of, sort of, a little bit, know what a protocol is. But this video is amazing at really like breaking it down to the lowest common denominator. All right, like really giving super simple examples that a 5-year-old can understand. All right, and not saying that people aren't intelligent, but what I am very careful to do, and whatever I'm doing, I need to know that we are all speaking the same language and have the same or very close to the same understanding when we're talking about stuff. Okay. So as we go through, I incorporate like super simple things like this, not just assuming, oh, it's a protocol. Everybody knows what a protocol is. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so I do incorporate stuff like this, and this is a very, very good video, about protocols. Again, class expectations, little funny memes. I think they're funny. Again, men and women in IT and cybersecurity. Now, this is more about skills and jobs and stuff. And y'all know one of my favorite websites in the universe is Career One Stop. Okay, Career One Stop has this tool where they can go in and they can enter something. Okay, so let me say cybersecurity analyst. How do you spell analyst? Let me see what it'll tell me. There we go, cybersecurity analyst. So they can go through and whatever they want to put in, okay, they can do that, at the same time. So everybody's putting in whatever they want to put in, and they can get information about what they may be interested in, possibly doing. Okay, within cybersecurity. Okay, so this is a cute little, interesting little tool here that I use. Some password stuff. Which is the most secure password? Looking at all these passwords down here. Okay, a little activity for them to do really quick. Now, again, this stuff is supplementing the plethora of material that they already have. So they would have already studied for the week, okay, whatever they were studying in for CompTIA, and then they would come here, okay, and do some of these activities, all right, to help them become even more familiar with these terms and stuff, okay? So here I have them actually looking up password policies. Let's see what these popular social media sites have about their password policy. Like, what are they saying? Because we all log into stuff all the time, like every day, or we use Google to log in for us. Okay, and what is that called? So there's a lot of stuff that we do on the day-to-day that we really don't notice, but it's like it's stuff that we're actually studying, and learning, for these certifications. All right, so this is a really good activity. Here's another one. They're going to do find username and passwords using Wireshark. All right. Very simple activity. Of course, they're going to have to download Wireshark to do this, but there's a free FTP server out there that they can use, for this. Very simple. Just want them to see how they can easily see, a password in text that has not been encrypted. Okay. And then, here's some familiar terms that they're going to be hearing on the test. Do you have permission from your operating system? So we're going to get a little bit into operating systems, have them do, some very low level things, regarding operating systems. And another end of workshop. Okay. Here's another class expectations with a cute little meme here. More diversity in cyber. Okay, another free video from Pixabay. Y'all don't sleep on Pixabay now. Okay, if you're not on Pixabay, get there. All right, what is your name in binary code? So we're back to binary, but I want them to write their names. Like, what does your name look like to a computer? Okay, because they don't know nothing about no Cheryl. Like, nobody knows nothing about that. Okay, so what does it look like, to my machine when I type in Cheryl? So I want them to just do that activity and not go to a tool online. I want them to look at this thing right here, okay, and use this to go ahead and write out their names. Okay. We're going to do a scavenger hunt using YouTube. All right. So all they're going to do is what is that? Right click and go to the view page source of YouTube. And I've asked them questions regarding the stuff that's in here. Okay. Not anything complicated at all. In what language is the page? What techniques do you see? Do you see any branching or looping? Now, if they don't know what this means, okay, what are they going to do? They're going to go look. Like, what does that mean? Branching and looping. Like, what is that? Does the page use functions? I don't know. How would I know that? Okay. How would you know that if a page looks? So this is not, so this is a scavenger hunt because you have to do some research. All right. You have to actually go look for not just in here, but in other places to try to find what's in here, that can answer these. Okay, before you download the solution. Okay, a little coding word search, something really fun for them to do here, to look for these words in here. And this site is really nice. Easiest way to learn programming step by step. Now this could be something that they could do at home, unless the instructor, because I'm not instructing this. I'm just the curriculum developer, but I've already talked to the instructor, about these things. So if the instructor wants them to do it at home, they can absolutely do that. Or they can, take the whole class to do it. They can take the whole class to do this activity. But this is a really nice site. So I went through here and I did some of the stuff, okay, already. And it's really good. It's very low level, have them do really, really simple things. And it's almost like that, fill in the blank with your age. It's almost like that when you're learning Linux, what is that called? Linux survival. Is that what it's called? I think it's called Linux survival. It's something like that. Okay, so it's really good. They really hold your hand through here. All right, and here, this one I think they would have to do at home, but yeah, they might have to do this one at home. But this is just another project, that the instructor can assign, for them to do. All right, now I have about like way more projects and activities than they probably need in this thing. Okay, so women and men in IT and cybersecurity. So you saw throughout, I had there that they were, they saw other people on Twitter and LinkedIn and, that other people know. So now I want them to put their photo here and I want them to write something about themselves. Okay, like what are other people going to see about you when they go to your profile on LinkedIn? Okay, or when they go to your, what you've written about yourself on Twitter or wherever. Okay. So that in the next course, I'm putting their picture in here, okay? Here we're at protocols again, okay? And you'll see this throughout too. A lot of stuff is repeated, but it's repeated in a different context, okay? Because I really want them to learn, to know what this is in different contexts, okay? Because that's really how to just learn the content without the context, that makes it a lot more difficult. Okay, and what I'm hoping with these activities and projects is that when I'm wrapping this content that they're learning from CompTIA within a certain context, and not just one, but different ones, that'll help them even more to be able to understand and learn it better and more more deeply. And everywhere that I have, you see, I have links here. These links take them to, let me show you where it takes them to. this website right here. All right. I love these definitions. I love these definitions, okay, because it's not, you know, you read the definition of a server with CompTIA, okay, fine, yeah, whatever. This right here, I mean, it is that, okay, it's that, yes, but these definitions right here are very good. Like, they really break it down. And the point of me actually doing this in the first place is to make this content reachable to middle school students, okay? Yeah, they're gonna have to learn, you know, how CompTIA said it, because that's what's gonna be on the thing. But that doesn't mean, you know, they can know, you know, have an easier way to get there. Okay, they can get to the CompTIA definition from this one. Okay, you know what I mean? So everywhere you saw those purple or blue links, it goes to that website where they can see a simpler definition of these things. Okay, and here's another little exercise. So I have them look at what HTTPS is and how it actually works. Then what I want them to do is to go to these websites and tell the instructor or whomever they're working with, their partner or whatever, is this site, according to what you see, secure or not? Now, you might be surprised. Some of these you would think would be HTTPS, but at least the time that I did this, they were not. Now, they may have changed and went ahead and paid for their certificate or whatever, okay? But, you know, at the time, you know, they were not. So I have a little exercise for them to do that. Troubleshoot your PC. I downloaded this thing. Now, this is on the Microsoft website too. Microsoft tells you to download this. This thing shows you everything about your PC. I mean, everything. Okay. So if they want it now, if they already have some kind of tool like that, they can use that, or, you know, they can go ahead and download this, you know, to do some diagnostics on their own tool. And I give them, you know, other instructions up here and talk about symptoms and things like that. Okay. Now this is actually I don't know, can you hear that? So I'm doing a very short presentation about mind mapping. Okay, another way for them to put this content together for them, you know, to help them, you know, study it and get to understand it and all, because, and what I'm going to have them, or, you know, whatever the instructor wants, but what I have here is to start with the CPU. Now, it's fascinating. Let me tell you how fascinating, okay, to see that everybody starts with the same concept. But if you look at their mind maps, all of them are different, but all of them are correct, okay? They are, it's all about how they associate these various concepts and terms and stuff. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating to see this, okay? Absolutely fascinating how they, you know, envision the relationship between all of these different things, okay? It's very nice. It's very, very nice. And then for them to see how other people do it too, like that's what's of most value, I think, you know, to see how other people are seeing this content. And then for me and for, you know, for the instructor doing this, for us to see, oh man, you know, this is how everybody's not putting it together the same way. Okay, they're not, you know, and it's just very interesting, very, very interesting. So this is like I don't know, how many slides is this? I don't know, however many. So MindMap is the one I have here. There are 1.8 billion free mind mapping tools out there, okay? So ain't nobody got to use that. Now, this is one I did myself. So they can either use the MindMap or they can just write it out. This is one I did for, you know, when way back in the day for ITF. Okay, trying to determine, so POP and IMAP, like, how is all that stuff related? Okay, and you see I can't draw. I tried, child. That's a server. Look, that's me getting my mail right there. Okay, all right. So another end of workshop evaluation. Okay, and that is it. Well, it's almost it. as like a end of the thing, whatever. If the instructor wants to do this, you know, they can go ahead and play Jeopardy, you know, putting together a lot of the concepts that they've been learning throughout their ITF journey, okay, into this Jeopardy game, and go ahead and get some teams together, you know, and play this. I thought this would be like a really, really fun, very, very fun thing to do, fun thing for them to do. All right. Now that is the ITF. Okay, I have a lot of activities and stuff in here for them. And again, if you know ITF is like very like low, the lowest. I hate to say it like that because ITF has amazing information in it. Okay, it's just it's like the starting point according to CompTIA. Okay, where you literally have like what's a keyboard type thing. Okay, you know, so. Now I completed that one. It wasn't that, you know, that bad. Now I just completed the A+. Ooh, child, core 1 and 2. That thing right there. Oh, that now listen, I was going to bed at 2 and 3 in the morning with this A+. All right. Because it's different, you know, and again, I don't want to repeat what CompTIA has in there, okay? Now this stuff up here, this is for the Prince William County course that I'm, you know, going to be starting very soon. But I'm not gonna go through all the A+ because there's like a whole, or, you know, I'm just gonna like run through it, okay? I'm not gonna do it like I just did the ITF. But I do want you to see some of the stuff that I have in there. Some of the, can I do it this way? Show everything like that. Okay, here we go. Okay, so start off the same way, you know, what it is. Now look at what we use here though, okay? Now this is what they're gonna need. So I do core 1 and core 2. All right, so for core 1, this is what they're gonna need, you know, in order to do this stuff. We're use, of course, their computer, a second monitor. They're really gonna need another monitor, okay? Because we can't just do this with one. Pen and paper, a printer. They got to download Cisco Packet Tracer. They have, we're going to not play, but we're going to use that home PC building simulator, okay? Now they do have actual computers in there, but this, I wanted them to use this too. Tinkercad, okay, which is awesome. Oh my God, Tinkercad is so amazing, right? Now this computer, you know, a working one for them to disassemble and reassemble, because they got to turn it on before they disassemble it. And when they reassemble, they have to turn it back on, make sure it comes on, okay? And then, of course, the tools and a calculator or something else that they can take apart, okay? Because I want them to be able to, oh, so you'll see what that is, all right? And these are the things, again, that we're using in here: drawing tools, current events, circuits, social media, all that stuff. Okay, Amazon, we're gonna be shopping on Amazon, all that stuff, okay? Again, you know, the student prerequisites and all that stuff. Now this is for 2. I didn't put 2 on here. I'm gonna have to go back and do that. See, this, I'm like reviewing my stuff. I'm gonna have to go back and do this. News, this is paramount, all right? I have the instructor in here being sure to, in strategic places, talk about what is going on today in the news regarding whatever the topic is for A+, okay? And incorporating that in here to have them, because we don't want to just keep it, you know, this is, you know, conceptual type stuff. No, there are things going on right now, okay, regarding all these things that we're talking about. I don't care if it is hardware, all right, or cables or something. It's in the news. Trust. All right, continue. I love this. Have y'all seen Hidden Figures? If you ain't seen that movie, go see Hidden Figures. Stop playing, okay? This movie is awesome. It's absolutely amazing, all right? The original computer in this video, Kevin Costner, you know what he asked? He says, where's the new computer? And who are they talking about? They talking about old girl. They're talking about a human being, okay? They were called computers. back in the day. Like, we are the original computer, okay? We are, all right? Not the IBM, whatever. No, it's you are the original computer, okay? So I just want to get that straight, okay? And have Kevin Costner back me up on this, okay? All right. And then we go into, the modern computer and all this stuff. Which one is this? John von Neumann one, which is the one we use mostly today, as opposed to the Harvard one. Okay. Now this is interesting because the von Neumann architecture, as an architecture, has vulnerabilities. Okay. So from the ground, from the foundation, you got cracks. Okay. Now, we don't really get into that here. We'll get more into that in Security Plus. But I just wanted to introduce that to them, because that's going to be coming up. What makes a computer a computer? Okay, is everything digital a computer? All right, so we talk about that. And again, you see these purple things here. These are places where they can go to see what these various things are. Now, this one is the Nest Learning Thermostat. They're actually going to go to this website and determine whether or not this thing is a computer, okay? Now, they're going to have to find, does it have input functions? Does it have processing? If it does, what is it? This thing is beautiful. I might have to get me one, okay? In the news, what will smart homes look like 10 years from now? A very nice news article, very interesting. Very, very interesting, okay? Hardware, Enemy of the State. This is a clip from Enemy of the State with Will Smith, okay? So they're gonna have to look at this clip and pay attention to the hardware devices that are being, now, in this movie, they were tracking Will Smith. They had all kind of stuff on him or whatever, and they were planting stuff and everything. So I want them to just track the hardware devices that they see in here, okay? And what these things are doing, how they're communicating, okay? And then after this, now this is the content. Now I want them to answer the question. I said I'm not gonna go through this one by one, so because this is too much. But what I want them to do is to talk about, well, what was required in order for you to watch this video on what hardware was required in order for you to watch this video on your computer. Okay, so they're gonna talk about that. Into the BIOS. So this is a BIOS project. Okay, this is a very, very great video about the boot process. It has like little people in here and stuff moving around doing stuff. I love videos like that. Okay, that just really, just make it as plain as day. All right. Very, very good. Troubleshooting the BIOS. This is another one. So they're going to have to, this gives you the beep codes. So you got to listen, you'll hear the beep, and then on the screen, it'll tell you what that beep code means for this computer, okay? But down here, they're going to have to go to their computer and see who manufactured their own BIOS chip. And they're going to have to go there and look at the beep codes for their PC, because every PC does not have the same beep codes. All right. So this is, they're going to have to do that kind of research here, which is research they would have to do like on the job and stuff, troubleshooting or whatever. What kind of computer does this person have? What kind of BIOS chip do they have? Okay. Because the beep code you're getting may not be for that last computer you looked at, What is this? Okay, we're bringing Tesla in here. So they're going to watch this Tesla. This car is amazing. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. This car is awesome. So after we look at the Tesla Model 5, we're going to talk about how some security researchers actually infiltrated into the Tesla Model 5 through the infotainment system and took that bad boy over. Okay, engine, sunroof, door locks, all of that. They took all of that over. All right. And then what Tesla did as a result of that, they set up a secure, what is it? Software on a chip, I think. Yeah, software on a chip security perimeter, all right? And then they talk about that. They're going to go all over that stuff right there and do an activity regarding authentication. Okay. Here's another one. Victims of hacking. Miss Teen USA was a victim. And I picked this video because it's awful what happened to her. Like it's absolutely, I mean, all of it is awful. I mean, but this dude was watching her for a year. Okay. On her, on the video camera on her laptop, a whole year. He had pictures, he had everything in her bedroom. It's terrible. I mean, absolutely nuts. And then, so up here, right, before they watch this video, I wanted them to read the article, The Psychological Cost of Hacking. It's very, very short, but she talks about some of that, the psychological toll that takes on people, okay? And down here, there's an activity about why do I'm a cybersecurity professional, okay? I do this, I do that, I put STIGs on, I do all those things. No, in everything we do, we have to use some ethical decision making, okay? And to help them with that, there's actually an ethical decision app. It's very good. It's very, very good. It's free. They can download it, and again, like I said in the ITF, with the 10 commandments of security, this thing can be used the same way. If you come across a situation, this app can really help you to practice, some ethical decision making. And again, this is for middle school students. I'm really, really pushing this ethics thing. Okay, really, really pushing it because it's so serious. It's super, super serious. Okay, because these people, like in this article right here, it talks about how some people have actually, it's terrible. Like, I'm not going to even go into all that, but it's not good. All right. Again, the workshop evaluation. Now let me run through the rest of this because I said that's what I was going to do. Because I got a lot of stuff in here. More, the cartoons for the class expectations and stuff. Now for this one, this is about designing networks. But what I wanted to do, because networks that's about communication, right? The IP address belongs to the connection. That's what it belongs to. It ain't yours. It ain't theirs. The IP address belongs to the connection, okay? Because it's about the communication that has to happen. So as an intro to that, I want them to look at what's another communication tool that we use, especially when it comes to reporting for many of us, okay? Especially if we have these fancy schmancy tools, PowerPoint slides, okay? The world's worst PowerPoint slides. I want them to look at this to see how these slides compromise, get in the way of communication. Look at this thing right here. What the hell is that? Look at this right here. What? And this, you go cross-eyed. What does that do to communication? So what I wanted to get, and then I love Network Chuck. I absolutely love everything about him. Okay, so he has an amazing video about don't do this, don't do your network like this. But as far as the similarities between the PowerPoint and the networks, right? In both cases, these are the things that can happen to communication. Okay, look at the first one. Leave the audience feeling frustrated and primed to find information they need in some other way. In both instances, if your network is designed so that I can't do shit, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find it. I got a job to do. Okay, I'm gonna have to find another way to get this stuff done. You know what I mean? So, and this, this video is really good. So he shows you what a bad one is, and he shows you, what a much better design is like. Again, vocabulary acronyms. So what I have them do for this one though, all right, they're actually going to put these vocabulary words, they're going to make it a hashtag. So they're going to go to Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, and they're going to put in hashtag install, hashtag configure. And they're going to see what other people are saying about these words, okay? And I did it myself. I did it with install and I did configure. So if you go to Twitter right now, you put in hashtag install, hashtag configure, mine might pop up, okay? Because I put it, and a lot of people, because guess what? Other people out there studying for A+ and other stuff, okay? And they're posting things and they're hashtagging PXE. They're hashtagging bios, all right? So this is another way for that they can learn their vocabulary, all right? I mean, yes, you're gonna read what CompTIA said it was, that's fine. But also, what are other people saying? How are other people interpreting it? How are other people using these words, you know, in their tweets and their statuses and, you know, all that stuff, okay? Bringing the real world into the classroom. The original ping command, I thought this was interesting, you know, where this come from. They're, of course, going to do some pinging and ARPing and all that. To ping or not to ping. Practice drawing with quick draw. So this next, I think I love quick draw. Okay, I don't know if you've been to quick draw before. Draw school bus in under 20 seconds. Okay, so this is Google's machine learning thing, right? Where they tell you to, no girl, Is that a school bus? No. Oh my goodness. Yes, it's a bus. It's a bus. She said bus. Did you hear that? No. Yes, I got it. So it's doodling, okay? I love this thing, right? And so I don't know if you heard that or not, but she says, this is what I see. I see this, I see this, I see this, until, you know, so she said, I see school bus at the end. At first she was like, you know, I see a skate or whatever, a hot dog, whatever. Okay, because I want them to practice some of these, because for the next thing, instead of putting a computer together, you know, either with the game that we're going to do, or like in person, you know, that thing, they're going to draw it. They're going to draw where all of these parts would go, starting with like a square or something, okay? But they're going to draw. Where's the motherboard? Where's the RAM in relationship to that? Where's the hard drive? Like, where are these things? And they cannot Google. They cannot research it. They cannot try to find out. No, based on what you've already learned about this, what you've already seen, you draw where you think this goes, okay? All of these, where would the operating system be in relationship to, now some of this stuff is software, right? Like it's not something you can hold in your hand or not, but I still want them to be able to place where they feel this would be in relationship to these other things based on these definitions and what they do, what these things do, okay? And they have to draw it. They can't go get pictures from Google and cut and paste. No, they have to draw, because what I want to do, and I said this before, they have to use, they're going to use all of their senses. Okay, when you draw something, when you, with your hand and a pencil or a pen or a marker, you're actually using a certain part of your brain to do that. And I want them to be exercising that part, okay? Which is all going to come together to help them when it comes to, you know, getting this exam, and not just the exam, understanding it in a way that when they do get their first internship, you know, they're going to be ready to hit the ground. You know, they really are. It more than if they would have just studied the CompTIA material and passed the exam. Okay. Now this is going to take the whole class time. All right. And they're going to have a lot of questions. I'm sure they're going to be frustrated and be like, I don't know where this is. And that's fine, because they're going to take that drawing. They're going to have it right beside them. Okay. When they do the activity to disassemble and assemble the computer. Okay. Are you tracking? Now, some of these things I have self-directed. Some of these things, the instructor can either have them do it there, or they can have them take the instructions and they can do it at their homes. Okay, so this is burning a CD, but they have to measure, like, you know, it's telling them like what these parts are on the CD, but they're gonna have to do some measurements and stuff, like right here, like how much space is being used, you know, when you copy it and all that. Okay. So, you know, this can certainly be something that they do at the house. Computer love, all right? What is computer like? Appliances use hardware similar. This movie was terrible. This was a horrible movie. I mean, unbelievably bad. But it worked, okay, for this activity. Okay, so they're just gonna find a computer-like thing, something that's kind of like a computer, okay, but not exactly, because it doesn't have all of those, all those parts that we talked about earlier. All those aspects of a thing that makes something an actual computer. So another activity for them to do. DSL modems, music to my ears, right? So we remember what this was, right? What this is. And this video is what it sounds like. Remember when we used to turn on the computer and it had all that screeching noise and all that, right? As our modem was calling, the like making a telephone call from here to Verizon, to get connected to the internet. So many of them, I'm sure, have never heard what we had to go through before we got online, but they're going to hear it here. Okay. All right. You're under investigation. So this is something else that they do on their computer to go look for some stuff. Okay. And here we get to them shopping. So they're going to have to compare like the various aspects of a phone. They're going to have to go to the manufacturer's website, okay, and look for these things right here that I have listed here and decide based on what this is, which phone would you purchase and why? Why? What does it have more of, and how do you know that? Okay, and if it has more of this, what does that mean for you? Like, what are you now able to do more of than you could have with this other phone? So that's going to be like a whole discussion, right? Where they're looking up this stuff, they're talking about it, but it's practical. Because we all buy phones, okay? And maybe the next time they go in to buy a phone, it won't just be because they like the commercial or because their friend got it or something. They'll actually look at the specs and see what's the best value for the price, okay? Authentication not supported. Here we go. Another this is part 2, because we already did a part 1 with authentication with shopping. Okay, now this is another one. This is we're going a little bit further with that. Again, a self-directed project that they can do at home if they want to build a very simple computer. Okay, paper clips, push pins, washers, all that stuff. All right. Very, very simple computer. There's a document for that where we're talking about motherboards. Okay. And they're going to have to go look some stuff up for this too. All right. And then we get to packet tracer. So, we have a whole thing here. So they're going to create a simple network with packet tracer. Now, again, I don't want to repeat what CompTIA, and CompTIA got a lot of stuff for A+, Core 1 and Core 2, a lot, okay? Good stuff, right? So it was like a lot of the work was trying to do stuff that was not simply repeating what CompTIA was already doing, okay? Some of it was easy, but some of it I had to really think, like, what the heck are we gonna do? This is another one with the song. I love the song. I played this like 10 times too, just to hear the song, child. But this PC builder is awesome. It's really, and it's not free, so the nonprofit is gonna have to pay for this, for them to do it, but it's good. It's very, very good. It's very good. Okay, now there are also apps that can be, some of them free, some of them very cheap, that can be downloaded to help build a PC. This one right here, I put it on here, but it's terrible. Okay, it's not good, but it's free. Okay, I just don't have the patience. All right, so they might be okay with it. All right, but there are other ones too. It's not just this one. All right, they can go to this website right here and find other free or very low cost apps that they can download to manipulate the parts of the PC to put it together. Here it is. Is it the cloud or a data center? Very nice video from Google where they take you through the data center. So here, what I'm telling them again is to pay attention. So these are questions. They don't have to answer these questions while they're looking at the video, but I want them to have them like in front of them, just so they can listen to see if they can hear the answers to these things, okay, regarding this. Because what they're going to do after this, they can go ahead and take a virtual tour of one of these data centers. And then there's a whole game here where they have to build a data center, and build it in a way that it's survivable. Like they're going to have to, you know, the temperature has to be right. You know, all that stuff got to be right so it don't blow up. Okay. And in doing that, they're going to, you know, it's going to help them to, you know, understand and learn what goes into maintaining a data center. Right. So, you know, this is a really fun way to do it. And these are the answers for those questions at the top there. They're just, which is why I said they didn't have, because I don't want them to, you know, ignore the video just looking for the answers. Okay, so don't worry about answering the questions. Just, you know, look them over and then just listen to the video because the answers are at the bottom. And I'll have a bonus question here, okay, because I'm asking about the topology of Google's data center. All right, the topology of Google's data center. Okay, data centers have topologies too, right? That they won't have heard. And that they will not hear in the networking course either. But, you know, this is just like a little extra thing. The answer to this one is somewhere else in this course, okay? That's related to what the topology is of Google's data center, all right? This is another activity they're gonna have to interpret, where they have to interpret stuff, okay? Now we know anything you got in your house is you bought that's digital. Okay, you're gonna have all this kind of language and stuff in there. I just bought a charger for my phone for the car. Got this kind of stuff in here. Okay, now what does all that mean? All right, now the lay person really don't care a lot. They might be looking at one or two things, but for A+ folks, we need to know more than the lay person. Okay, so we're going to interpret what all these things mean. All right. Another in the workshop thing. Okay. I like this. This is funny. I think it's funny. Join local and national IT and cybersecurity clubs and organizations. Now, this is about diversity. Okay, so they're, and again, about them starting to build up their network, which is going to be super, super important if they're going to get anywhere. And forget not just cyber, if they decide to go to another profession, I don't care. Your network is important no matter what you're doing. All right. So here I'm listing, you know, some of those that we're familiar with, and there's a lot more out there, like a lot more out there. So they can, and some of the local ones, you know, because the nonprofit is here in Virginia. So these are local things that they can join as well. As a start, okay? URANG, the operating system. Now, the operating system, so let me tell you, so this is what I have here. I'm not gonna even explain all this. This is a video on YouTube called The Operating System of Life. Very good, go look at it. But I want them to look at this because this is about us and ourselves and how our operating system, okay, you know, physically. I want them to listen to this, okay, because we've already talked about operating systems before, okay, and they've looked at a video before. I want them to listen to the language that this video uses, talking about our own operating system, to hear the similarities between how we operate as human animals and how machines operate, how the analog operates, and how the digital operates, okay? Just as another way for them to, you know, to take in that information. Periodic table of Linux distros, we're gonna do that. They're gonna choose a suitable distro. You know, because when you go to the distro chooser, it tells you what these distros do. They don't all do the same thing, okay? So, you know, they're gonna take a test, and the test, they're gonna answer some questions, and that test is gonna let them know, well, based on what you said, this would be the best Linux distro for you, okay? It's a really fun test. I mean, I took it, and I thought it was awesome. It was great. Practice performance baselining, super, super important. So they're gonna do some of that here, okay? Very simple, not anything too complicated, all right? Circuit switch versus packet switched communication, very good examples of what circuit is like, taking your house, the whole house, everything, and moving it from here to Africa or South Africa, wherever they're going, versus cutting it up in pieces and sending some of it by mail, some of it by boat, some of it by car, some of it by plane, and everything just gets here and is reassembled again. You know, the way we do with packet switching. All right. And this like super fun part. I love this breadboard. I mean, this whole, I just like the way this thing looks. Okay. Tinkercad is free. I mean, you could build all kind of circuits in Tinkercad. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's absolutely amazing. And here's the bonus. The answer to that bonus question. So what kind of topology is Google's data center? It's a CLOS, I think it's pronounced CLOS. It's a CLOS topology, right? Which is a circuit switching network, okay? A self-directed activity, there's a binary game that they can play here, okay? Cisco has, this thing makes me nervous as hell, okay? Because I'm a words gal, okay? I love words. Me and numbers have an okay relationship. But when I'm rushed to do stuff like this thing right here, oh, child, I just, this game makes me nervous, okay? So I agree to start it, but you can play it, well, I'll start it. You can play it here, but you have to, you see the 128, 64, 32 and all that. Oh my God, I can't. So Dr. Phillips does beautifully with this stuff. Like he really does. I can't. Don't rush me, okay? I don't like it. Okay, computational thinking with Legos. Now we're talking about programming, the software stuff, okay? I love this activity, okay? I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's an amazing way to demonstrate why programming language is so precise, okay? Because human language leaves way too much room for interpretation, the way English or any, too much room, okay? And this activity demonstrates that perfectly, okay? And then they're gonna watch this after they do this activity and see how hard it is, you know, to write something and have everybody interpret it the same way with English. Okay, which is not going to happen. Okay, why we have programming languages and why they're written like that. Okay. Fruit Ninja. So we're talking about microprocessors. Okay, and we're using Fruit Ninja, which is really, my boys play Fruit Ninja, but it's a really fun game and it's a good way to help them understand architecture. Okay, and why architecture is important. Okay, when it comes to you being able to play this game on a PC versus a Linux machine versus a Mac versus your phone or whatever, okay? Architecture is super, super important. So this is, you know, I use Fruit Ninja to do that. And Microsoft has a Fruit Ninja knockoff called Fruit Slice Ninja, which is just as fun and is free, okay, as Fruit Ninja. All right, so they get to play some games while learning about, you know, architecture and microprocessors and all that, okay? And here you go. So they can go here to play Fruit Slice right here in the thing after they talk about architecture and all that, okay? So another self-directed project, scratching the surface. They're gonna create an operating system in Scratch. Now, I put sorta, kinda, sorta. We're not really, okay? Because I mean, you know, so this is the Linux kernel, right? They're not really going to do all this right here in Scratch, okay? And Scratch is free too. However, what they are going to do is they're gonna go through some of the things that they can do that mimic an operating system, because these things are, it's good enough, okay, to really have them, you know, get them on a journey to understanding more about why an operating system and how an operating system actually works and why it works like that, okay? So these are not, and Scratch is easy to do. Like it's not, you know, it's not heavy lifting at all. You know, I have the directions here, plus they can download them and they can do all that. They can go into applications if the instructor wants them to do that. Okay, these directions don't have them do that, but I have the directions here for them to do that if they want to do it. Okay, so that's, you know, that's fine if they want to do that. The ultimate smart home tour. So we talked about smart homes. It was either this one or an ITF. I don't know. I get these things mixed up. But what they're going to do here is they're going to use Packet Tracer to create and configure an IoT-based home automation system. This house, you ain't got to do nothing but breathe, eat, use the bathroom, and go to bed. This house does everything. It's like the damn Jetsons house. I'm like, oh my God. Like, the whole house is an IoT, okay? You know, I mean, it's crazy. You ain't got to do nothing in here. It's really fascinating. But at the same time, all that you just added another window, another door, another something, okay, in your house when you put that smart air conditioner up in there, okay? You did all that stuff. All right. All right, so they're going to do that here. Go ahead and create and configure a home automation system. Okay, which is a lot of fun. Okay, and I did most of these myself just to make sure they worked. Okay, work hard, have fun. That's actually Amazon's tagline. I didn't know that. Work hard, have fun is Amazon's. You know how Nike is just do it. They don't even say it. I don't think they. I thought Amazon's thing was just Amazon. I never heard work hard, have fun, but that's what it is. So yeah, so we're gonna do you know, more authentication here. Now this is an activity they are actually going to apply for a cybersecurity internship. Okay, using these tools, they're going to use a whole method that I have here. You know, that includes networking with people, actually talking to people, sending people messages. They're going to do this whole thing. This is a 100% requirement for this. They have to, because you ain't going to get anything, you know, you're not going to get an internship until you ask somebody, hey, can I work here with you? You know, and show them what you've been doing, right? And they can download this because their parents can help them with this too. All right, because this is going to take more than just them. They're going to have to lean on their, you know, their peers and parents and other folks to do this. Another self-directed activity, we're going to use Windows utilities to do some stuff. Decode coding. They're going to decode coding, okay, using this game right here. This is another project that they're going to do. Robazel. They're going to troubleshoot their smartphone Wi-Fi settings with this in this activity right here. Create a troubleshooting. Now this is like this was like the Jeopardy game in the other one, okay? So here they're going to actually create a video of them fixing something, troubleshooting something, okay? And it doesn't have to be super complicated. Like this video right here, the guy kept getting a black screen. It was like, how do you get rid of a black screen? Okay, it was like 2 minutes and some change. Okay, it doesn't have to be anything terrible or you know, anxiety producing. 2 to 10 minutes, but this is a requirement too. They're going to have to do this. Okay, troubleshoot something, because this is going to go on the nonprofit has a channel. The nonprofit is Future Kings. They have a channel, so they're going to upload their troubleshooting video onto the channel. And the head of the nonprofit is gonna, you know, make sure everybody knows, hey, we have these videos up there. If you have an issue with something, with these particular things, go ahead and go to these videos, and you know, and they'll help you to troubleshoot your issue. Okay. So there is that, another end of the thing workshop. Now, my next, I think this is the end. Yeah, this is it. So the next thing I'm going to do, see y'all, I've been busy. This isn't a 5 minute, you know, couple day type thing. Okay, I have been a busy bee. But I love this though. Like I really do. I like putting it together. I like testing it and trying it with, you know, my kids and other people. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So my next thing is like I said, these courses for, now they don't call them elderly people. That's not what they have another name, like older aged or something like that. You know, you got to be PC with this stuff, right? I think it's like older aged or something, but it's individuals here in the county that I live in. It's either 50 or older or 55 and older. but they want some digital digital literacy training for them. Okay, so you know, older people who have, like, the internet just came with something that they have in their homes, you know, and they don't really know what to do with it, or they have mobile phones and they're not sure, you know, all the stuff that they can do with it. So just, you know, really simple simple stuff like that. So so that's not going to be too hard. I can probably, you know, get the first one done by this weekend. But in addition to that other Linux RMF cyber thing that I was doing, which is a lot more involved than the PwC stuff, but we're going to get that done eventually. Plus the CAP, you know, the CAP training that me and Dr. Phillips are doing with Convo courses, you know, with Bruce over there, you know, which is, when it's finally done, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So I got all that stuff going on. Plus this new FEDRAMP project, Professor Black Ops, I'm going to reach out to you for. And I'm going to talk more about, because I don't think a lot of people know about this, the new cybersecurity accepted service. Okay, where you can literally, you ain't got to worry about all that USA Jobs requirements and all that. You can take your resume off your desktop and send it to the agency, okay, and get hired like that. All right, so you know, it's great. It's fascinating. It really is. And only if you have 30% or above will your veteran's preference be considered. So, because I hear, from what I've heard and seen and read, is that, you know, the government can't keep cyber people. They just can't keep them. I don't know why. I wonder why. I wonder why. Part of it, I'm sure, is the pay, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna have to see. I'm sure somebody has written something about that, you know, which is why, you know, one of the reasons probably why that they have this new accepted service now, you know. I'm gonna have to look into that to see why they can't keep folks. All right, y'all, I have been on for 1 hour and 42 minutes. Thank you so much for sticking with me, Professor Black Ops. I appreciate it. I hope, you know, the stuff I talked about was useful, but I did want to share with you all, you know, what I've been doing. And, you know, go ahead and go to, let me put it in the chat, vendors double their pay. Yeah, that's part of it, absolutely. And you know what else is part of it too, what I'm noticing? Now, I was a federal employee, so I'm just gonna say this. Federal employees treat contractors terribly, you know, like they do. And I don't know, I worked with contractors when I was a Fed, and I'm like, I never thought to do that, you know, like, just, I don't know. It's like they have a, you know, once a federal employee gets in a room of contractors, they get like a Napoleon complex or something, you know. Yeah, like they can just lord it over because this is a contract and they have to do what I say. People ain't trying to put up with that, especially if you ain't as competent as you think you are as a Fed, okay? Oh, child. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a people thing too. I feel it's the pay, definitely, but from what I've seen, it's a people thing. Because some of the stuff I've seen, I would not tolerate that. Okay, I wouldn't, and I'd be saying something as I'm walking out the door. Okay, because you know, it's terrible. You've seen it, yeah. You know, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I do not get it. But what I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put it in the description in this thing, like when I get off of here. But to go to my my Teespring channel and go ahead and look at those shirts and apparel and all that. And I'm gonna put other stuff in there. I don't know if you can make comments on Teespring. I think you can. If you can, like, make a comment or something, and you want a different kind of shirt or whatever, then just let me know. But so once I'm done, so we have 2 more to do. Network Plus and Security Plus projects and activities, you know, different than what CompTIA has for their stuff. Somebody else is supposed to do those, but I don't I don't know. I might end up doing them. I might end up doing those too, which is fine with me. You know, I don't mind getting paid to do that, you know. And plus, as I'm doing this, like I'm learning stuff too, you know, so it's fine. It's fine. So security plus network plus these older, this digital literacy stuff for older people. Okay. I'm going to do that. And some of this stuff, oh, before I go, let me just show you this other thing really quick. I pulled it up and I totally forgot about it. I do want to share with you. Here you go. Now that was the nonprofits Thinkific thing, okay? Now y'all know I got my own stuff, right? I have my own thing. Let me show you real. I'm not going to go through any courses or anything. I'm just going to show you what's here, okay? What's going to be available once I put some finishing touches on it. On my Thinkific site, okay, which is Ypifany. Okay, Ypifany, just like the shirt, the t-shirt thing. So here, Cybersecurity Simplified. Right now, this is for anybody, not just entry level. You could be a CISO and take Cybersecurity Simplified, okay? Because this is a lot of the kind of like the foundational stuff that I had like in the ITF about the digital and the analog, the stuff that we really don't talk about because we assume people already know it or they should know it or whatever. No, this is going to be in here. It's going to be in here. I'm going to have a lot of metaphors in here to really help you get it. Like, this is what this is like. You know, like when I did with the bits, like this is what a bit is, this is what an IP address is, like that kind of stuff, okay? 25 hours a day. This is about managing your time, managing yourself in time, okay? Because I'm hearing a lot, I don't have time to study for this exam. I have a full-time job. I got this going on. I got my kids. I got my mom. I got my groceries. I got my man. You know, all that. Ain't nobody got time for anything. Okay, but we got all the time in the world. Okay, but time for nothing. Okay, we're gonna find that 25th hour in the day. Okay, so with this right here, Resume Plus, get noticed, known, and selected before the interview. I've talked about this in several of the videos here on this channel. And then Security Plus, on the job projects, practicing and perfecting real work. This is something that I've been working on for at least 12 months now, okay? Because what I've noticed on the job, and I think Kareem mentioned this one time when he was on the channel, about how, you know, people like certification, like they lied, like it's not true, okay? The projects that you're going to be doing in your job, number one, a lot of them, especially if you're working in a SOC or you're a cyber analyst or something like that, it ain't all bells and whistles and sexified and all this other stuff that you think is going to be, okay? You're not going to spend all your day hacking into a box, okay? That's not what you're going to be doing, especially if you work for the government, okay? Unless you're getting hired as a pen tester or something, okay? No, there is real work to do here. And these projects are not just about technical stuff, okay? Your project is to work through this issue with this person, okay? And this person and their attitude is between you and your performance review, okay? What you gonna do? How are you gonna manage this situation, okay? This is the kind of, now these are real projects for real work. Like, you're actually going to be doing this POA&M stuff that I'm doing right now is not just about the POA&M, it's about the process. How does this process work? Who needs to sign it? Who has to see it? Who has to, you know, comment on it? When do these dates need to happen? Who is JFHQ Doden? You know, all of that stuff, right? That you're not going to get that at Secure Set. You're not going to get that. Okay, or Secure Ninja, whoever these people are. These projects are about that kind of stuff, okay? That kind of work, all right? This is stuff that actually going to get you, you know, that performance review you're looking for. You know, when people need somebody to do this thing, it's not going to be, oh, I didn't learn them. That's not my job. No, you're going to be able to raise your hand and say, hey, listen, I can do that, that process re-engineering. I can do that. Okay, I know how to do that. This is where we start for that. Okay, because this is work. Okay, this is the real work. This is really what's going on. So that's what these things. So it's not just so that I'm starting with Security Plus. Okay, because I feel like that's where I need to start. but trust. Okay, I'm gonna have stuff in here for CISOs. Okay, for CISOs. Hello, CISO. Yes. Okay, I'll have stuff in here for instructors, like all kinds of things. All right, that I've been planning, and I have so much content, it's ridiculous. I really just need to, you know, sit my behind down somewhere and just put this stuff together, which I'm doing. I'm starting to do it. You know, I got the t-shirt thing done. I got all these other courses and stuff done. So I am doing it. I'm getting there. I'm making progress. Okay, and that's what's important. I am making progress. And I see that I'm doing that. Okay, so this is going to be coming up shortly. You know, definitely after. So I am going to finish the PwC, the Security Plus, and the Network Plus projects and activities. Okay, that's going to be done. So this will probably be available like within a few months. Okay, like towards the end of the year. You know, when I have time to come up and breathe and actually do that. So that's what it is. Again, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate y'all watching the replay. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. So you can come back here and see all the amazing, wonderful, awesome things that we do here. Okay? And I really do appreciate every single one of you. And y'all have an amazing night. And I'm going to see you back here very, very soon. Okay? Bye-bye.